Deirdre Sullivan, and I'm going to read to you a little bit from my new book, Tangleweed and Brine. It's a collection of dark fairy tale retellings for young adult readers, and illustrated by Karen Vaughan. The piece I'm going to read is from my retelling of The Little Mermaid, which is one of my very favourite fairy tales. It's called Consume or Be Consumed. In the water, things can take their time. Your people traverse the oceans, lakes, the rivers, fjords and straits. They mate at sea, but life begins on land. Parents wait in holes that they have dug to meet their children. The lash of air on face, the weight of bodies that are used to floating. The size of you on earth is something else. Your legs whale thick, your arms weighed down like rock. You never knew there was a different size to be from what you are. The water you displace with flicking tail. Before it split, it was a royal thing. The weight of it, the strength. And it could take you anywhere but him. It isn't natural for tails to part like tentacles. There is a simplicity to how it's done. She put her hands on you, long fingers caressing at the soft lace of your fin, and she found purchase and began to pull. You asked for this. You demanded all that soon befell. There is a fish that lives inside the body of the female. She consumes him and he serves her well. Love takes many shapes. You see that now? You didn't always think, you didn't know. You thought a flat, wide back, smooth skin and eyes, kind eyes. You thought if you were good. If you gave up the things that made you different, the world you knew that it would be enough. But sacrifice is often so invisible. People do not look for it in others. They know their own, they list them out like titles at a ball. I've done for you, I've done for you, I've done. And it is always your turn now, to hurt, to long, to be a broken thing, a thing that differs. Before you always thought you were a person. A soul, they say. The people underneath the waves do not have souls. They do not go to church. They will know no heaven when they die, no final judgment. And if you have a soul, the suffering you do is something pretty. It batters you like sea glass to a jewel. You hold it to the light and know your worth. There is a fish that has 2 little legs, and it can live inside or out of water. It has 2 arms like you, a splendid tail. It doesn't need to hurt to venture out. You are the same, but you know what they think of you, these people. You wanted to be equal, to hold your head as high as it would go. This little fish, it must be wet to breathe. You know that feeling. It hurt, the things she did to make him want you. First remove the scales, a stone was used. The water kissed your open, bloody flesh. Then smooth stuff grew like what you have above the stomach. She pitted you a bumpy little hole, they call it navel, and it means you're human. It is the scar they get when broad hands part them screaming from their dams. They cut the part that joins then latch to breast. You see things in the palace. The nurses and the mothers. The little humans try to kick their legs, but they are swaddled tight like ocean babies beached. The helpless flop. All day moves their faces, eyes and fat cheeks pulsing suck, suck, suck. It's similar to certain fish, you think, but there are differences. Human hunger scares you. There is a fish that lives inside anemones. The poison doesn't touch them, it protects, but others aren't so lucky. The floors here feel as though nematocysts will soon release, as though your death is imminent. The witch assured you that the hurt, while painful, is not actively destroying you. It's parcelled out, the pain she has administered. So much of it would kill you all at once. Her hands upon your tail, your fins, your tongue. She scraped them into several different jars for future use. The royal blood of a princess of the sea must be worth something. The palace is made of glass and marble, hard, white things, bones. You both have those. You see them at the table left aside, thin and fine. They mine the sea for food, the fish, the weed. And still the hungry gather at the walls, They scratch, they shake their bowls. You watch them from the carriage and you lift your eyes to meet theirs. A woman, all skin leathered by the bright. A scarf around her face, she shakes a bowl. Her legs spread wide, no shoes, no toes upon them. They aren't flat, and you can see the 5 small starts of bone. Your prince tells you they do it to themselves, for sympathy, to part you from your money, your hands flat in your lap. It doesn't work. There is a fish that can breathe water, air. It burrows deep into the riverbed. It falls asleep inside its mud cocoon. The water dies and it is left unsheathed. The fish can live this way for several years, alive and trapped. It lives. It stays. It hopes.